and I low crawl under the uniforms, and I'm fucking out. And then all of a sudden they come in there and he goes, "What in the fuck is your problem?" Talking to this other Marine. And I'm in there sleeping, the guy that did it. And I'm just like, I can't wait to tell everybody about this.
You are a moron. Aye, aye, sir. Aye, aye, sir.
We went to Mount Fuji for cold weather training. And so Mount Fuji in Japan, you know, Fuji, it's a pretty famous mountain volcano. It's a very small base. There's like just barracks, so you don't have rooms anymore. It's like going back in time. That now, or going back in training, right? Now you're like in barracks, bunks and everything. But it's not as bad as, you know, boot camp or whatever. So you're in barracks. And they have like 2 bars. They have an enlisted club, like everybody, and they have an O club for officers, and they have what's called the All Ranks Club at Mount Fuji. So you go down there, you go across a runway, go across, and literally they have this Japanese guy named the Iceman, who he named himself the Iceman. And all my buddies are telling me, hey, you know, they know my drinking experiences, my Irish heritage. And they're like, hey man, the guy's like, I make a 5 wise men. Well, there's a drink called the 3 wise men, right? Sure. Which is like, I don't know, Johnny Walker or something.
Yeah.
Well, he makes the 5 wise men because he's the Iceman. And so I was like, all right, I want to do that. Of course. And then my buddy Dudley, he's like, don't fucking do it, Lejour. And I'm like, too late, bro. I ordered it. Well, fuck you, man. Of course, man, he was right. I drank that. I really don't remember most of the rest of the night. I know. I remember going back, trying to get back across that runway because, you know, snow gets so packed down, it's unnegotiable ice. Like, you're going to slip on it no matter what. And I'm like, I'm trying to get across that. Get up to the barracks, start some trouble, myself and some other guys, you know, pulling guys out of their racks. I want to do this WWF shit. So the next day, everybody's pissed at not just me, but a little group of us. And they're like, hey, guess what? You're gonna go do Chow Hall duty. And I was like, fuck you. And then one guy's like, oh, it's not so bad. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. But, I mean, I don't have a choice anyway, right? So Chow Hall duty, you get up at 3, and then you go down there and you prep everything for everyone else to eat chow at 05:30, I think, or 06. Everyone goes to chow. A bunch of my friends and I were like, well, we're all on mess duty anyway. We go out and get wasted. I introduced them to the 5 wise men. Everybody's starving to death. Everyone's hungry. There's nothing to eat on Camp Fuji. It's not like, at least at Lejeune, you can talk somebody into you can get a cab ride. And go get some food, something, man, to calm that down. You're in Mount fucking Fuji, man. There's nothing. And I was like, hey, I'm with like 6 Marines. I'm like, hey, man, I know that the door opens to the Chow Hall. And they're like, well, what are they having there? I'm like, fucking what do you mean what are they having there? I know how to turn all the grill. We're going to fucking... So I go up there and I'm thinking, oh, right. And there's like NCOs with me too. And I'm like, watch this shit not work. And I was like... You're like... Opens right up. We go in this thing, dude. And I'm like... Fire up the griddle. Right? We're wasted shitty drunk. And just... We're making triple cheeseburgers. And we're like, fuck it. Turn on the TV. Because there's TVs all in the corner. We're like fucking just eating sloppy cheeseburgers and stuff, man. I even fried an egg on one, I think.
Willy Wonka's factory.
Dude, we were pigs in heaven. And the funny thing is, I can remember who was with me, and none of those guys got in any trouble. Well, I didn't either for that. But here's why I feel terrible about it. And I feel pretty guilty about it. The cheeseburgers and everything was delicious. It was the savior. Everybody went back to the barracks. I was like, everything's okay. Go back to the barracks. 8. Now I got to go back to mess duty. So I walk in there. I promptly fucking set up 2 milk things for people. And I'm like, I'm out. And I go into that office where the uniforms are hanging.
Okay.
And I pull it away from the wall. And I low crawl under the uniforms. And I'm fucking out.
Tactical nap.
I don't give a shit. Anybody can find me. That's how hungover I was. I was just like, well, you know, they're not going to find me. So later when I wake up, I'll be like, what do you mean? I was here. And then everyone's going to think, I don't know, was he? Maybe I just didn't see him. I don't know. So I'm sleeping under this thing, and all of a sudden here, the fucking door opens, and this fucking sergeant comes in. They can't see me. I'm in the office. It's the size of this place.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping under these hanging jackets. And I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm just hoping they're not in there to get uniforms and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Nope. And then all of a sudden they come in there and he goes, what in the fuck is your problem? Talking to this other Marine, female. And she's like, what's my problem? My problem is that bitch looked me right in the eyes and told me she cleaned that griddle last night. And I'm like, we were just in there making fucking cheeseburgers.
Like 6 hours ago.
Not even, man. It was like 2 in the morning. 1 in the
so
morning,
warm.
like when the bar closed. And she's like, and he goes, well, what happened? She's like, are you kidding me? That griddle was not clean. And it's all legit. And the thing was, like, to this day, I still want to figure out maybe somehow who was on duty and be like, hey, man, that wasn't bullshit. You know, we fucked you up. It's those little things, man. And, you know, it didn't hurt anybody or anything like that. It was a few cheeseburgers, but that chick, man, she got her ass chewed.
So they brought her in here. And
Yeah, chewed her out.
questioned
No.
her, like, in front of you?
The lady that was chewing out the girl, probably a Lance Corporal or a PFC.
Yep.
This sergeant was like, why the fuck are you chewing her out like that?
Yeah.
And then he's like, come in my office. And I'm in there sleeping, the guy that did it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh God. And she's, you know,
What the fuck is your problem?
why are you yelling at her? And she's like, that bitch is going to look me right in the eye and say she cleaned that griddle. And I'm like,
you were right there. You were right there in the same room.
not even, dude, hey man, from here to here, I'm sleeping right there. And I can see their feet. And they're talking, and I'm just like, I can't wait to tell everybody about this. Because I knew now they're not in there to get uniforms. They're not going to find me. And that was some crazy shit, man. I felt bad for that.
It's funny.
And then you went back to sleep after, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, for a couple more hours.
I crawled out. Well, I crawled out when it was time for us to eat.
Yeah.
Was this breakfast or what?